wake up each day hoping you get outside and then make a decision on the day?
Given the way the forecast has looked, we've known that it's unlikely we can get outside. And to be fair, the temperature is cold, but the issue is really the field freezing overnight and then becoming, unstable footing obviously can lead to other injuries. So I was actually thinking we do need to get outside and just suffer a little bit with the cold, because on the weekend there will be no bubble to play in. But really the field conditions have been probably the most limiting thing. And like I said, even if we could get outside, bundle up and play, then once footing becomes unsafe, then it doesn't make sense.
How is the pitch at BMO? Is it still, forget how you described it.
So I haven't been since our game.
Okay. You didn't train there this week?
No.
Oh, that didn't happen?
No. We decided not to, especially given the conditions and everything. I remember starting early in 18 and how bad that was. It's just the time of year here. I remember Jamie, who was in charge of operations back then, was saying that because we were back in 18, we were going, well, they play all year round in England, how are they able to do that, blah blah blah. And she said, really, we are so far north that very few teams are playing outdoors like in these sorts of conditions, these sorts of temperatures, this time of year. I think she compared us with somewhere in Iceland. So it is what it is here, and there's not really much we can do about it, so we just get on with it.
What is the injury report like this week? Ola's back in training. Does he look good?
Yeah, Ola's eligible. He's had a good week of training. I think he looks really good. I guess Siggy and Raul came back last week. They've continued to progress and look good. Zane came out of the game against New York and a little bit of knee tendonitis, I believe it was, and he looked really good. As the week has gone on, he's looked better and better, and I would say he looked the best that he's looked today. Wingo has had a really good week of training, and he actually, even before he got into playing last week, he had a good week of running prior to that, and he looked really, really good. So I would say he's at essentially 2 weeks of looking quite solid now and quite good. Anyone else? I don't think so.
So just Richie is the...
Richie is obviously the major outlier with regard to, or outside of Richie, I would say we have little knocks here and there, but nothing really concerning. Yeah, I don't think so.
Did the guys, did the guys who were away on the national team, did they come back?
Good. Yeah, they look good. They look really good. Spicer had 3 assists while he was gone, so I think he's brimming with confidence, and I believe Davey won both games.
Yes.
So I think he's also feeling confident. They both moved really well today after obviously getting back later in the week and having a kind of reintegration day yesterday. They both look sharp as could be today.
What do you see in Vancouver? They've had great success this year, even while they've been missing some big pieces.
The best Vancouver team I think I've seen. They have the age profile of their team is really good. They have a lot of players who are right in that sweet spot of not being young but not being old, and are quite experienced. And I think with the new coach, they are very forward thinking. They're aggressive defensively, and they turn a lot of that defensive aggression into opportunities for themselves. So they've done a really good job at that. And I think that they, given the success they've had, they're just playing with a ton of confidence right now.
Well, they have some, seems to have some real outside threats with Ahmed and Ocampo. Those guys can really cause some problems.
I think both those guys are very good players. Obviously, Ocampo is kind of new to us all, but Ahmed is a player that I first saw maybe 2 years ago, and I'm like, who is this kid? And he is a slippery guy to deal with. Brian White is a player that we've always liked. Obviously, when we were at Colorado, we were in the West, so we would see them often. And he is He's a really, really good 9. He does kind of everything well. He works unselfishly, very good on crosses, and just a big, strong body and holds the ball up well for them. So I feel, and Ryan Gauld for me is one of the better players in the league, and he was one of the DPs I think early on who just plays and works and he appears to be a real team player, and aside from having the quality that he does on the ball, I think what he does defensively for the team just shows real unselfishness. And when I look at that team, that's where I think they are right now. It's that they're a really unselfish group that knows that they're good, and because of that, I think they play really well as a group and really cohesively.
What's been your take on Jaden Nelson since his return to MLS?
He scored a bunch of goals and had some assists, and he looks really fast. Jaden's a talented kid, really talented kid. We certainly knew that when he was here, and I think he may have been under 16 when I left. I think he was playing with the under 16 team when I left. I believe so. He was impressive back then. I think he went through a stage where, as young, talented, athletic players do, that I think he relied a lot on his athleticism, and I think the start of his professional career, he was just naive. And I think this experience of going overseas and coming back, he just plays like a much more experienced and thoughtful player now, with still having the attacking ability that he does and the speed that he does.